Hey everybody, welcome to the latest episode of Side Quest. I got something special today, and I think for me this strikes a real chord because I loved Dragonlance, and I love the wizard test, the mage challenges that they had to do when they hit a certain level within their order. And I've carried that through 2 of my campaign settings now, and Athontia, the one we play in every 2 weeks, is one of those ones that I've done that in. So Voss, our Vulg in the episodes, our main Vulg, I should say, because there hasn't been many yet, is taking his challenge with the Emerald Order. And it just so happens to coincide as the Whisper has crash-landed into New Bolivar, which is where the Emerald Order, the order he trains under, is stationed out of. So we're going to be diving into that. Let me take us over. Hey, Drew, you haven't got to do a mage trial in all the years we've played together.
Nope.
We've talked about them, but I don't think we've ever done them.
No, because any mage that I've played in Athontia has always been higher level, so they've already passed their test.
Passed the trials already.
Yep.
So there are some risks involved with these trials. There's usually 3 challenges, which we're going to do today. There are a few things that can happen in Athontia. 1, you can lose your license to fetter, depending on how that goes. 2, you can lose your license for magic past 2nd level, which means that any magic that you have beyond that becomes illegal. That doesn't mean that you can't have that magic. It just means that if you get caught with it or casting it, you're kind of fucked. Yeah, I know. And then the other one that can be pretty intense. You skip the 4th one by not bringing somebody with you. You get bigger rewards if someone else is involved, but the risk is higher. But coming in by yourself, yeah. Don't worry. You have that option because you have Inquisitor Pyre bound to your staff.
Right.
So you'll have to make a decision in this first scene of you talking to Inquisitor Pyre, and then when we go into the second scene of your first challenge, if you're going to tell the Emerald Order that the Inquisitor has bound himself to your staff. So, with that, I'm going to take us into the prep area and put our map on screen, everybody. So, this map is showing a few different things. It has a bunch of people who are active here. They're the people who are running the trial for you. There are 2 people from the Emerald Order here, and there's 1 person who is part of the Order of Gold. They are the Atomists. They're the ones who build bodies for things like Everston. They are specialized in it. They also build replacement parts for people if they lose their arm or leg anywhere in the field or in the service of the True Faith. So that is what we're looking at here. Let me bring myself to the table as well. So the first gentleman, here I'm going to move us over so we can see the rest of this. Got a whole cast today. Make sure this is lined up for us. That's pretty good. So at the top, that is the original Lady of the Tides. Okay. Next to that is Inquisitor Pyre. That is the card that got played. Yeah, he's a great individual. If we scroll down a little bit, we have the first person who is Icaro. Is it Buntingham? Yeah, Icaro Buntingham. Icaro is a
Is it Bunting
teacher.
or Budding?
Buttingham. Buttingham. Is that what I said? Yeah, it doesn't matter.
You
Icaro
said
Buttingham.
Bunting.
Yeah, butting,
Sure
butting like head butting. Buttingham. He is the head of trials for the Emerald Order in New Bolivar. You know him because you failed his class.
I did a lot of drinking my junior and
Yes,
senior year.
yes. That
It's
is
not-
actually
not
what I
right.
have written down is you drank a lot and failed his class. That is literally what I have written down.
Oh, I know. My mom paid for the first 2 years. I paid for the 3rd and 4th. So I wasn't as stingy with the money because I was making it all and paying it, and I was doing pretty good.
Yep.
So I drank a lot of it, and mistakes were made. Fines were paid. All the above. Anyway, that's the gist of it. Yes. Professor Bottingham is a wonderful teacher. I did not do well in his class.
So Professor is now the vice principal for the academy, and he is specifically put in charge of overseeing the trials of students. There's other people as well, but he wanted your trial.
Oh, of course he did.
Yeah. To the right of that, the gentleman with the large pistol, almost like short-barreled shotgun, might even be a Winchester. Probably is a Winchester.
So, is it a mare's leg?
Or a mare's leg. It could be. It's a mare's leg. It's a mare's leg.
Dope.
So
for those
the
of you that
mare's
don't know what a
leg.
mare's leg is, if you ever
yeah.
watch Firefly, it's Zoe's gun.
Oh, that is kind of that is where we got it from, isn't it?
Yep.
So that's that. And then on top of that, we have his name. He is Liar Creston. And then we have his father, Jacques. Jacques is currently the Emerald Order of Gold. He is here to oversee crafting and mechanics for safety purposes. The Emerald Order and the Order of Gold work together pretty frequently because fettering to Atomus is a very popular thing. So they bring machines to them to fetter, and they build machines for people to fetter too. His son left the Order of Gold and joined the Emerald Order so that it wasn't a bad thing. It was so he could do both things legally. So he's kind of like the cross between the two. But the guy below that, you have never seen. He's in the waiting room, this large pole barn that you guys are all in on the estate. And when you walk through, the smell of machinery, oils, fire, a lot
metal
of
and machine oil.
Salt is in the air. The gentleman over there is pulling things out of a wagon, bags, and then round barrels and setting them on the ground. The Professor Buttingham walks up to you and says, "Well, it is great to see you, Mr. Carolcore. I'm hoping you can prove me wrong, like you did by graduating."
He kind of nods and laughs a little bit. He's like, "Professor, I just want you to know you were a great teacher. I made some mistakes. And believe it or not, even though I did not pass your class, I learned a lot from it. So I hope that I can prove you wrong as well."
Well, here's the thing, sir. We're going to give you a little bit of time in preparation, but I will tell you what your first trial is going to be. We are going to reenact the mistakes of you and, what was your teacher's name? He's therefore been fired. Oh, Maestro Thaddeus Rupert.
The maestro has been fired.
Oh, yes, he has. Yes.
When did that happen?
Today? Don't worry, it will not affect your class, your test. If you would like to prepare, around the corner there is a small covered wagon. Feel free to do any memorization, preparation that you need there. There are salts in there and all the normal accoutrement that you would need as a fetterer. We'll give you a few moments, up to, I would say, 2 hours to prepare yourself. And he turns around, he grabs the big barn doors, not answering any other questions, and shuts them. You, sir,
Fucking
I need you to make me a will save for the information you just obtained.
dick.
I'm assuming you're going to bring 3 hero points.
Yeah.
I'll give you an artifact if you go with none. I'm
To
kidding.
keep?
I'm kidding.
That's a 29.
Oh, wow. Does not shake you at all. Totally good.
He's in control, but he's not happy.
No, I wouldn't be either. So let me mark
Also-
down that you did not fail that.
How the fuck did they find out?
Good question. So, you go to the wagon, give yourself a few moments. Is there anything you'd like to do in this wagon? Like maybe, I don't know, talk to Inquisitor Pyre before you go in?
Yeah.
What,
Have we talked at all yet?
work? I think he has been very disgruntled about any form of speech with you.
I would I would probably agree that's the case.
Yeah. So I'll take us back to the little side piece here. So what do you want to talk to him about? What do you say? How do you go about this? It is a Tuesday. Remembrance is active. But you have learned recently, you've been able to talk to him pretty much every day.
So has he responded to me at all, or has it just been
not
a cold shoulder?
once? You know he's in there? You may have gotten something like, I'm not speaking to you. But no actual conversation from him.
Okay.
What would you like to ask him? And what does it look like when you go to talk to him? Does anything happen to your staff?
Probably like because it is a staff of fire and because it's made the way it is, he'll probably flick on the flame that's up top.
Okay.
Because he's probably like resting in that flame.
All right. Makes sense to me.
So I'll flick the switch, so to speak.
Okay.
And so Gov, no, we're not entirely on speaking terms, but I need your attention if you can give it to me for a second.
So the staff, the area that you always light up that's on the top, you see flicker a few times, and you see his metal-covered face appear. Make it quick, bird.
I did not choose the way things went. I certainly did not want you to die. But there's nothing I can do about that right now. But there may be something I can do in the future. Being a fetterer, I think it might be possible just to give you a new body if I can manage it. Put you in a Thomas or something. Or at least give you to your loved ones, or I don't know.
I have no loved ones.
Well, then at least put you back in service of the church. Again, no ill will, mate. I'm dashed to death that this happened to you. I was just trying to make things right. We were told that this dame was responsible for not letting the tides wash onto the city, so I was obliged to help her because she said she could help things.
Your friend, Oliver, Mr. Hastings, is a man of poor decisions.
Yeah.
He kept the
Poor is not... What? Is that what?
The orb that he had, the Lady of the Tides, is a keeper.
I did not know that. I just thought
That
it was a
is
very
heresy.
powerful spirit. I thought it was a powerful spirit. Ah, fuck me running. And he kind of like...
a powerful spirit controls the tides of the world. How dumb are you?
No, not a power... Look. I suppose that makes sense. I didn't know.
It's
I
the
thought maybe
only
it was
sense it makes.
bound to it. Like, I thought it was... I mean, if it's the daughter of a dragon... I've never seen one. I've just heard legends. I thought that maybe it was... They were coexisting on some level, which apparently they are, but I didn't realize it was a keeper.
Did she get brought back to her body?
Yeah. She said she would control...
And who made that mistake?
That was the plan, to get everybody back to where they were trying to go.
You didn't think that maybe speaking to an Inquisitor would have been a better decision than hastily giving her back to her draconic body?
I mean, there was a lot going on. You were kicking the shit out of her, and...
Yes, because she did not have access to her draconic body.
Well...
Now she does.
I also know that the Winter Court was trying to stop it from happening, too.
I don't care what Fae do. I care what we do.
Yeah, but mate, they're a part of the world now. There's tears everywhere.
Yes, but they are not part of our world. They are in our world. They take
Right.
care of the Fey courts. We take care of the material.
Well,
So now, Ingrad, the home to the true faith, is in danger of not only a dragon, but a Nodaric, one of the originals, the onlys. You gave her back to her body. We are doomed. What do you need from me today, since I can't go anywhere?
like, he looks at the flame and he's like, I understand where your love and your passion is. I get that. I think you're a good man. Inquisitors, not to shine an ill light on them, but like, they're terrifying to everyone. With good reason, they should be, because they beat back they beat back the shadows that live under the bed, so to speak. But because of that, there's also a stigma that you can never do right near them or around them. And
That is true. You cannot. Many cannot. I can tell you the decisions I saw you and your bumbling friends make were not decisions I would have seen as in the light of the true faith.
That's fair. But what I will tell you is I feel you're a good bloke. Like, I understand you're upset. I would be too. I feel that you are...
Good bloke.
Listen, mate, what I'm trying to say is I'm usually a decent judge of character.
Sure.
I
So am I.
I didn't get a horrible feeling from her. And I'm pretty
You got
intelligent.
one of a troubled soul that wanted you to feel the way they wanted. That is how keepers win. They give you what you need. They don't give you what everyone needs. You fell into her hands.
Well, to be honest, mate, if she's a keeper, like you said, and I'm not as pious as you, I don't feel bad about that because I probably wasn't equipped with the right,
You could have been.
I don't know, I'm not a member of the church.
Oliver wouldn't have made that decision. You could have been.
Well, he's made a lot of stupid decisions.
He is a stupid decision.
I mean, anyway, here's what's happening. I'm about to go into the trial for my mage license so that I can continue to fetter and to cast with the power of my station. If I don't get this, I don't think I'll be able to help you. I'm not asking for your help. I'm just explaining the situation so that you know what's happening and, well, I'm hoping things don't go sideways because you're in there.
And if I get you through this test, this trial, you're going to give me a body.
I was going to try and do that anyway. Mate. I'm just saying, if I
won't be able
don't
to
get...
do it, you won't be able to do it alone. You will have to go to the capital. I have been refettered, which is already breaking the code. That means that I am bound to whatever object it is that I'm in. This shoddy craftsmanship won't hold me forever. And if I am released from it, then destruction will reign. Won't be my choice. It's just how we're fettered, how we're bound. It's made so no one can question an Inquisitor later. The fact that you're even able to speak to me
is illegal.
is already breaking everything.
But And how I figured it is because you were fettered once, and so that usually holds true. But then you came into my staff.
The magics were left on the other object.
Right. Which cracked. Wait. Hold on a second. The orb cracked, mate. Would that have released that power?
No.
That orb was broken. If the orb isn't
the orb.
Orb isn't a thing
magics
anymore.
Are gone then.
They can't be reclaimed?
No. Not without going to the capital.
All right, well, then I guess that's what's going to have to happen.
Well, then, give me a diplomacy. Drew, give me a diplomacy.
I will take that 18.
Okay. I just realized I didn't pull my dice over here.
That is a 27.
Wow. All right. He says, all right, until you make another decision I don't like, consider me your ally. Don't make a poor decision, and we'll be friends.
Well,
so as that is said, there's a knock on your door. You come out of it. The clock that you have there, 2 hours have passed.
Great.
It was very similar to how Nora described the manor. You must have been pulled into something. Your body is cold. Your heart is beating very slow. It's different than how you normally would deal with a item during remembrance. This feels more of a like an ethereal projection. Like you left, went to the staff, and came out.
Okay.
So they come to you. It's the man you don't recognize. He says he comes there. A little bit of an elven quality to his look, to his voice. He says, "I believe the professor is ready for you. I was told to warn you that today's trials may be harmful to your psyche and to your well-being, that you should mentally prepare yourself even more than preparing your spells. Is there any last wishes, or do you have any wills that I should give to anyone in case you are to die?"
Here you go. He hands him a scroll that's sealed with a wax stamp on it.
All right.
That goes to my mom if something bad happens.
Yes, I will give this to her for you. She is, if I remember correctly, she is aboard a vessel, scavengers, right?
Yeah, the carrying cross.
The cross. I will make sure that is sent to her if things do go awry. Where would you like your soul fettered if this does happen to go poorly?
And he will hand him a locket.
Okay.
It's like, and it's got a it's got a little curio of him, like profile of him inscribed on it.
Of course it does. So he goes,
that goes to her as well.
I see. Well, if you're ready, please follow me, and we will begin your trials. And he would walk from here,
right,
and around the corner.
That sounds great. As I'm leaving, like I'm looking around, like, okay, I'm gonna grab the best salt they have.
Okay, I need a fettering lore check.
Okay. 15. I roll a 3.
Find some medium grade stuff. Nothing of high value, no sea salt or anything.
Okay. So it's holy salt then?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Anything else you're looking for leaving the wagon?
Whatever the normal stuff would be. I'm guessing powdered silver.
Okay. Powdered silver.
Bone dust, maybe. Like whatever
bone
the
meal.
Whatever the normal. Let's see.
Is there anything outside of a fettering kit norm that you're looking for? The salt was an example of it's in the fettering kit, but better versions you definitely have to grab. Are you looking for anything else?
anything, if there's any pre-cut gems in here that would be used to place into
For feathering?
feathering? Yeah.
Give me a craft check to kind of assess if any of these are a quality level good enough for what you might be doing today.
27.
Yeah, you find 2 emeralds.
Okay. And I'll grab a larger bag of the holy salt that they had, and
they have like a flour bag of it. That's usually how with the size that they come in. So you can pour circles, like a full 5-foot circle.
Got it.
That's about what you get out of one of those.
Okay.
So when you enter the room,
what's the price on the emeralds?
they will hold up to a level 3 spirit. Or sorry, level 3 and a level 6.
Okay.
So when you walk into the room, I'll move you over here. The professor goes and shuts the big double doors. They slide back in. He says something and whispers, and you see the emerald mark appear on the door, and you see bars come across in 3 spots, gold bars, locks. He taps the wall, and then glyphs fill from the door, wrapping all the way around through the building. One after another, you see the green lines, and you know that they have put a magic barrier in place so that if any form of fettering goes wrong, it cannot escape this area.
Got it.
Also means if one of you die, you can't escape the area. He goes, well, I will be watching this from a distance. The father and son duo will be helping you in this process. We are going to be remaking your failure.
Go on.
So from the ceiling, it parts. You got like a huge 40-foot ceiling. You see some light pour in, and they lower down Everston's body.
Wait. Like another Thomas?
No, Everston's body. They lower it down.
So Everston's here?
His body is here. And they lower him down onto the area between these 2 gold. These areas here are filled with gold, like to dip things, hot and boiling. And they put him on a table about right here. He says, I will be watching. As he steps away, he vanishes.
Okay.
Making him no longer visible. So the father and son walk up. When you turn to look for the elven characters here, he has also disappeared. Well, we were looking forward to this. We've not seen anyone before fetter 2 souls into one body before. Highly illegal. Thaddeus gave us the specifications on what happened. We're going to do our best to recreate it for you.
Wait, so...
Yes.
I mean... So we're doing the same thing again.
Correct, but this time you're going to identify the problems and hopefully stop it from happening.
I see. What souls are we fettering to this, Thomas?
Oh. Friends of yours.
Sorry, what? Because it looks like Everston. Is the flak gun on his arm?
No, nope. It looks like the original version minus all the bangs and beat up pieces. It looks like his body the first day that you put the 13-sided vault inside of him to hold the soul. He looks like that. Vault is already in place. Chest is open. Lowered down. Put on a table. Almost the same setup as how you did it originally with Thaddeus.
Okay.
So, if you are ready, he pulls out the bust that looks like Everston that you originally took the soul out of.
Okay.
Sets it on the table next to Everston. Says, we're going to be fettering him today, but unfortunately you will not be able to use Thaddeus because he is the soul you will be fettering today.
What happened to him?
That is not important. You can ask him on your own time, if this goes well. We wanted to make sure that this felt as real as possible, and with his unfortunate passing, we have brought him here, and the son goes, Dad. Just stop. Mr. Calicor, what I can tell you is your friend passed in an untimely demise. He took his own life. And we are doing our best to be able to speak to him, but he put magics in place where we are not able to bypass the parameters that he has put on his reliquary. We're hoping by moving him from one to the other, we'll be able to speak to him again. But they said we needed to test you, and that, unfortunately, we need you to do it with 2 spirits instead of 1. I didn't want to do this. It's not how I see fettering to be done, but they believe that if it is possible to fetter 2 spirits into 1 body, you might be able to give souls a rest, letting them work harder than normal. Also allowing us to do things like married people who pass together, putting them in a body to share together when they can't afford to.
Yeah, right. I mean, we've been working on this for a while now. It's possible.
It is possible. So Thaddeus, unfortunately, we found him in his shop. A fellow student of yours, a Mr. Tyrius, is offered himself up for this experiment as well, looking for an autonomous body to further his research.
Well, I'm sorry. Tyrus is in here too?
That is correct. We have bound them both in here.
How did he die?
He offered himself up for this. He said, and I quote,
was he drunk at the time?
If I cannot be as good as Calicor, then he should make me as good as him. That was his words that I was told. Are you 2 friends?
Yeah.
Oh, well, it did not seem there was any ill will, but he said that he needs to further his research, and this is the way to do it.
No, there's no ill will. This dipshit's the reason I didn't pass his class in the first place. All right.
Oh, and then you see the dad, like, reach down and grab a clipboard and mark something and put it back down.
You know, this is actually worse than the first time I did it, because I didn't have any connection to the cell I was fettering. Also, I didn't know there were 2 cells in there to begin with. We're still not sure how that happened.
Can you reenact it? Do you think it is feasible to bind 2 souls to 1 body, or for you to separate them and put them into individual objects?
Well,
which would you rather do?
I think either are possible.
But which would you do? We will assist you in this. We know this is not something you can do by yourself, but we will be following your lead. The body has been built by my father. It is close to a replica to the original model that you made.
I mean, it's pretty spot on, that.
Blueprints were left here with the college. He dug them up. Took him quite some time to build it, but with assistance from the rest of the shop, here you are.
So he looks at the bust and he's like, so Thaddeus is in there.
That is correct.
Can I see that, please?
By all means. Floor is yours. And he backs up.
He takes it, and he'll take his staff and go, tink, tink, tink.
So before you tap it, I need a perception check.
Okay.
If you have anything for, like, sight, any bonuses for sight, this would definitely be visual over any scent or hearing.
It's funny you mention that, because I took the smells from my ancestry feat. So he has scent now. I was going to do gliding, because we keep saying, you can glide, right? I'm like, no. I was going to take it, but that's actually a heritage, not an ancestry, so I couldn't take it. So I took the smells instead.
Correct.
I will say oddity identification gives me a +2 to occult rolls, so I don't know if that would...
just strictly visual.
Okay, then it's only a 19. I rolled a 10.
You notice that the bust is very similar to Everston's, but it is not identical. There are cracks in it that were not there before or after the original time you used it. This is definitely a duplicate, but a really good one.
Is it a duplicate or is it the same one and something happened to it?
Duplicate. Definitely not the same one.
Definitely.
You notice you notice crafting differences, like brush strokes on a canvas. This is definitely someone else's work.
Okay.
They have duplicated this scene, replicated it.
He'll hold on to it and be like, do we have access? I'm asking this because we're trying to solve the problem about how it happened in the first place, which I'm still not sure how it did. Do we have the actual bust this one was made the replica of?
Unfortunately, we were unable to locate that. The duplicate was made. We made it from the original measurements and specifications that Thaddeus and you took on it. We noticed that when readings were taken, some of the answers you got back during Remembrance or when Speak with Dead was cast by Thaddeus, some of the voices that came back weren't Everston's. At least speech patterns were not the same.
Yeah, no, it wasn't. It was a different bloke.
Well, we have a theory on how that worked, but that is for you to solve. So, what would you like to do? Bind them both back into the body like you did the original time? Or do you think separating them is actually a better way to go about this? Do you think 2 souls in 1 body is too risky? And his dad looks at it and goes, I don't know, 2 souls in a body sounds to me like it would be a better Thomas at the end of the day.
He kind of nods to him. He's like, I think you're right, mate. I think it would be, a better Thomas, but only if the souls would be able to get along and work together.
Do they not?
Well, it depends. It also depends on which one's in control, as I've learned through being around Everston and seeing what he can do.
You've witnessed this firsthand. You still engage with Mr. Everston.
Well, yeah.
The son goes, Dad, remember? They got sent to Merrifield. Oh, that's right. I forgot. I apologize.
But here's the thing, see. Hang on. He'll take his staff and he'll go, tink, tink, tink.
Okay.
Maestro, I know you're not talking. I know you got wards up, but I need you to talk to me right now.
You do hear a voice, and you do hear Maestro's voice. The old version of him, the tired one, more towards the end of your time with him studying, where you could see the years of doing this had worn on him. Kind of cold, kind of callous, but he is happy to hear you.
Okay.
And he would say, Voss, it has been a very, very long time. How are you?
I mean, I'm doing well, but apparently I have to tend to your soul right now because...
Yes, unfortunate accidents happen.
Sir, wait, accidents?
Correct.
I was told you took your own life. Is that not true?
No, I did not take my own life. I would never do that. I could not further my studies if I did that.
Right, I didn't think so. So what happened?
Oh, I was murdered.
I'm sorry, what?
Correct. I was murdered.
Did you see who did it?
I sure did. He is in here with me.
Tyrius is in there as well. That's what I was told.
Yes, you are correct. I have silenced him for now with what spells I can cast in the afterlife, but yes, he is in here. His consumption to be better than you took the better of him. I was teaching him after you left. He was wanting to learn the things that I taught you, and I thought that I could assist him in his studies, but instead he became quite angry. I believe him to be possessed.
Possessed by what?
I do not know.
That means there's 3 entities in there, not 2.
If that soul is, or whatever it is attached to him still, then yes, there are 3.
Sir.
Yes.
I don't... Well, if that's the case, I don't want to put you in the same place as him. He said
I'd agree more.
He said he offered himself up to be a part of this.
He couldn't have. I I'm the one who killed him when he attacked me.
If you killed him, how did he murder you?
Oh, that is a story.
Well,
why are you speaking to me? Am I here for a reason?
Apparently, I'm supposed to fetter you to an Atomus. They're making me redo what we did to Everston to try and figure out how it was done.
For what reason? I haven't spoke to anyone.
Apparently, they have the information that something went amiss when we were fettering Mr. Everston to his body.
I had to send those reports in. We made that discussion. I kept as much as I could about the two souls private until you had graduated. But once you graduated, I had to share the data. It was
I appreciate that.
Thing.
So you did. That was revealed then.
Oh, of course. They made me lead research on it for quite some time while you were gone.
Well, apparently my test today is to make sure, or to discover what happened, why, how it was done.
Wait, so hold on. Why are you being called back to do this? Why aren't one of the master fetterers doing this? You're not a master fetterer yet, are you? How long have I been dead for?
I'm here for my test, sir. It's my trial.
Oh, I see. Give me a sense motive.
Okay.
Perception, but some people have bonuses sense motive.
It's a 27. Rolled an 18.
He did not know this was a test. That's obvious. But now that he does, his attitude has changed a little bit.
Okay.
I will give you one clue on what's going on. Yes, there are 3 in there. He does not know, but someone out of these 3 souls probably does. They've talked to somebody about this in there. So if it wasn't Maestro,
yeah.
If it wasn't Maestro, it's got to be one of the other 2. Or one, if the other soul is even in there, whatever was bound originally to your friend. What would you like to do? So, and you're welcome to ask the other 2 guys in the room questions if you need to.
Right. They don't know them though, so I'm not there yet.
Okay.
Maestro, can you safely let me talk to Tyrius?
Ooh, no, unfortunately not since his last tantrum. He almost broke the object we were in. He has become quite powerful. I still believe it's possession.
Right.
I would recommend pulling myself out, fettering me, and leaving these 2 in here for further study. I don't understand exactly what your trial is. If they've given you parameters, though, you must follow those parameters or you will fail this challenge.
I was told that the question is whether or not I think it's safe to fetter 2 souls to one body. And I told them, I think it can be done. It could make for a more efficient Atomus. Like, I mean, we discussed this, so you and me, but
of course,
only if the souls get along. So putting the 2 of you or the 3 of you into the same Atomus body, I think would be a hellish process and result.
Well, you have to do something, or you will fail this one. That means you must pass the next 2.
Well, right, so I'm just going to put you in this body.
Actually, which trial are you on out of your 3?
This is the first.
Are you sure?
That's what I was told. I mean, I just got here. This is the first thing we're doing.
Interesting. Usually fettering is never the first trial. They've made a mistake by putting me in here, because I can assist you.
Right. Well, Professor Buttingham told me these were the parameters. I drop its name specifically.
That monocle wearing... yes, he's... You're being tested on more than one level.
Oh, I figured it was. That's why I'm trying to represent the Emerald Order as best I can from the get-go.
What would you wish to do with this? I will assist you any way I can. And I have to ask, I smell brimstone.
Right, yeah, we'll get to that. Actually, we're getting to it right now, since we're so good.
Now you know that he has the ability to see souls, even if he is like incapacitated or harmed. He's not abandoned. He's human, but he just has an innate ability to sense them. He's extremely empathic.
Is that a thing for him, or is that something you get from being a
no, it's him. He is in touch with people who have passed, which is why he is such a master at his craft.
Got it.
He knows what they want before they even have to ask questions.
Right, got it.
But it becomes problematic sometimes too, obviously. Empaths.
So, you said you can't let me talk to him. Can you show him to me?
I don't think that would be smart. I have him locked away pretty deep within this reliquary. I've made a separate room within it for him to be housed in. I mean, you could enter here, but I don't know how stable this relic will be. They made it for 2, and there may be 3. Adding a 4th might just shatter it, and then you will be dead like us.
Right. No, we don't want to do that. All right, then.
If you need anything, let me know. I will happily speak to you, but not the other ones.
Is there a history there that I need to be brought up to speed on?
No. It just takes great effort, and I'd rather spend it speaking to you than them.
Fair enough.
Especially since they said I committed suicide. That is just distasteful to my name.
Running back to that, give me the quick on how you killed him, but he still murdered you. Were you poisoned? Was it
Oh no, we were fettering. I was quite tired. We were on our 6th day of work, and he saw my illness. I've been fairly sick the last 2 months. Nothing that I thought would kill me. And he took that moment to, knock me unconscious. And I believe he was trying to take my soul from my body when I awoke. Needless to say, he did not enjoy the lightning bolt I gave him.
That tracks.
It's so much so that it scarred his spirit. It's quite the thing to look at right now. But in doing so, I was unfortunately laying on the conductor floor, the way we use to produce electricity and how we pass souls from a reliquary into a new body. And I unfortunately took the brunt of that same lightning bolt.
All right. Well, that about clears that up then. Just out of curiosity, what does his soul look like right now?
Oh, charred from the waist up, electricity in the sockets, and his eyes have drained down the front of his face.
Liquid form, or is it more like a ectoplasm?
He's pretty substantial. His eyes are not, but the rest of him is. Looks like charred wood.
The rest of him looks like charred wood?
The upper body does. The lower looks like him. Spectral still, of course, but... Give me a fettering lore, please.
Do his eyes... Do they look like they're bleeding gold?
No. Electricity. More like if you were to take tiny balls of energy and pop them in.
You said that they were cascading down his face.
Constantly draining from his eyes, I believe, that popped.
The ichor?
Pretty sure.
That's nasty.
It doesn't stop, though. It's forever.
Right. It's fettering lore, you said?
Yup.
Okay. Tools included or no?
No, this is a question. You wouldn't really be able to use tools for it at all. And you're speaking to a spirit right now. If you were to leave, do it, and come back, you could use your tools and books, but for this, no, not really.
Does my oddity feat come into
this?
Yes. Okay, cool. That's all I needed to know. Yeah, I'll take that That's a 27.
There is a form of spirits in death, if you die through blindness, known as a ocular or a visionary. Those spirits allow them to see the future.
Like an oracle, or like...
Similar concept to an oracle, yeah.
Did those spirits always have it, or does it happen when they die?
Always. Oh, no, it happens when they die. It's the way they die.
Okay. I'm trying to figure out...
Certain cocktail of emotions and blindness causes it.
Got it. I'm trying to figure out if I can discern from what he's giving me what might be latched on to
no. Nothing you can tell that would be latched on. That part doesn't make sense.
Okay. Like, we were good friends, and and he was an alchemist.
The act of him doing this to him doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
So that means he probably was either possessed or ill. One or the other. Him attacking anyone, really not his style.
Right.
While your teacher, Maestro, was definitely more than capable of defending himself, he was never an attack first person. And then the fact that they are both fettered in here, and that possible third one being in there, you would have to find a way to find out if that third one is in there before you go in, or that danger is really high. We're talking, sorry, other one was in there, make your death saves. Like, that level? You can always back out and talk to those other two, but you will not be able to come back and talk to them right now. Because it's remembrance. You're talking to them, you end the conversation, done.
Well, how long do I have for that? It's only, because I'm probably getting... Oh, okay. I thought it was like a 5-minute thing.
It is for normal people. You're a fetterer.
Got it. Can I cast spells when I'm in here?
No. Same spells you could cast if you were scrying. So, not many. Later on, you can do that. There are things as you raise up in the ranks of fetterers, they give you objects to be able to cast a school of magic while you are fettering.
I'm going to pop up a detect magic and a read aura.
Do those both work in scry?
Actually, that's a good question. I'm not sure because it's PF2 and I haven't been high enough level to cast scry, so I don't know.
Welcome to the game, boys and girls.
Stand by for station identification.
Changed. So while you're doing that, is there anything... Are you going to stay in here? I guess would be my main question.
Yeah, hang on. Scrying works like clairvoyancy, except that your image you receive less insufficient.
It doesn't look like you can cast anything through it unless you have a crystal ball. Crystal balls and objects of power are what allow you to cast spells through it.
Oh. Yeah, he's not a diviner, so it's not really his bag.
Nope. So you really can't cast anything here. If you exited, you could, and you could scry the object, or not scry the object, but detect magic on the object. But I want to know if there's any last questions for him before you do
that. I guess I would ask him if he has any advice, knowing the predicament that we both are in right now.
So he would say this. You are my favorite student. And my advice to you is one of personal choice for you. Is this test what is important to you? Leaving, passing the exam? Or is doing the right thing in your well-being what's important to you? Because that's the choice you need to make. There is no both. I don't think so. I think that's the challenge.
Well, I think you
Sacrifice,
already know you already know the answer. So.
I have not seen you in many over a year or two now, many years.
I mean,
so people change. You have been quite the adventurer lately. You may not be the same person anymore. I don't know if anyone could really break your spirit, though. So
means a lot.
That decision's yours.
Right then.
I don't take anyone as a student.
Let's get you into this Thomas then.
Oh, they have an Thomas there?
Yeah, it's made up the same as Everston's.
Oh my.
It's
that is quite the feat.
The bus that you're in is almost an exact replica, but it's got some wear on it. Oh, actually, while I have you, sir, did you have any inkling that there was another party in that bust when we were fettering it?
I had suspicions that maybe the spirit was not of right mind. We had that discussion that maybe he was unstable.
But did you see any? Did you see any signs of it anywhere else? We're trying to find out because I've been traveling with Everston.
The only time we saw that is when the fettering actually happened, and there was that odd spark that usually isn't there. I thought maybe it was a malfunction of machinery, but when we stepped back, the fettering took. We ran all of our tests, we heard nothing. And then weeks passed, and we started hearing that other voice. I'm not sure why. None of my notes. Trust me, I've dedicated myself to trying to figure this out.
Well, we're guessing that whatever the other spirit was in, the reliquary got shattered when there was a fire that broke out in the home, and it leaped into the bust, and that's how it was in there. Because we just pulled from the bust. We didn't pull from anything else. But I find it...
Or it was already in the body.
In the Thomas?
I mean, we bought that. The core we made, but we got the glass from the Emerald Order. The machine pieces themselves were by the Order of Gold. That's the only other thing that makes sense. Yeah, you would have to scour the inside of Everston.
It was one of his family members.
Yes,
like it was one of his family, and it was in the vault with him apparently.
Is that really that odd, though? Spirits find each other if they're able to roam.
Well, right, but I mean, I just don't see how. Because was the body?
You feel a tap on your shoulder.
Look out.
As you peer back, and it's like shadowy gray. It's Liar going, "Are you ready? You've been in here for hours."
Right, forgot about that. Like I'll tell him, like, the Thomas was built for Everston, but was it then stored in the Everston estate, or did it come from where it was built?
No, it was built. It was built by the Order of Gold in New Boulevard with the assistance of you two for specifications and everything else. You guys did the modifications that were needed for fettering. You put the 13-sided core in there for the engine that he uses. The fettering happened. There was a spark when it transitioned, but there was no side effects that you saw. And then as weeks passes, it was starting to get its memory back because it takes time for a Thomas to kind of start clicking. That's when you started seeing reflections of that other spirit. But there is no way that you know of for an Thomas to have a spirit fetter to them, because there's already one there. The core is not made for two. And that is the one thing that has always puzzled you two. That core did not break. So if there's two in there, it's either bound to the core or bound to something else in that body. But you've never had a discussion with Everston about it, so you don't know. And now that soul's a spirit, and you can't understand it.
Right. Speak Croak.
Shh.
Gonna find a book on it.
There's a secret for the episode.
I'm gonna find a book on it. I'm gonna learn that language.
What do you want to do? You got the tap?
Right, sir. Well, I'll try and do my best by you. Stand by.
Of course. Whatever you do, I am okay with.
And I'll step out.
So when you step out, the sun is dipped down some. There's not a lot of light coming in from outside. They have prepared the Thomas the same way you prepared it when you guys were getting ready for fettering. Because your teacher, your mentor, Thaddeus, would have had you prepare the body. He would have checked it, double-checked it, triple-checked it. You know, it was probably there for 3 days before you actually did anything with it. It is set up identical. The floor is copper. The cables are run properly. All the salt line tubes that go into the core are there. Everything is identical. All the angles are the same. Like, it is like looking at the image in your head from the day you did it. Because one of your crowning achievements as a Federer.
Yeah.
It's too perfect is what I'm telling you.
Yeah. I'm going to check and see if I'm looking at an illusion.
Yeah. Are you casting any spells or doing anything? Detect magic, read magic, anything like that.
Yeah, I'll pop up Detect Magic and read Aura.
All right. So you pop up Detect Magic and read Aura. Give me your spellcraft check.
Which, real quickly, because read Aura.
And I'm going to put Everston out here for us. I did not expect to be pulling Everston out to place him on the table. Here's the big old Everston.
If the object is illusionary, you detect this only if the effect's level is lower than the level of your read Aura spell.
Okay, what level are you casting it at? This is one of those important moments.
Well, I mean, the highest I can cast it at as well. Actually,
you got third levels now.
Yeah, but I can't. You have to prepare it as a. Oh, wait a second. It's a cantrip, so it's already at my highest level.
Highest level. Yo, it's cantrip. Yeah, so it's at your highest level.
Okay. So does that mean it's level 5, like me, or is it the highest level spell I can use?
Correct. It's yours. You're not heightening it. It's your caster level.
Okay. Well, the only heightening only allows me, or the only thing that heightening does is allows you to target more than one object. So.
Do you want to do that?
Yes, because I can target heightened third. I can target up to 10 objects.
What would you like to look at?
I'll look at the setup on its own, and then the individual pieces, like him, the core, the salt tubes, like breaking down into schematic. You know what? He's gonna put on his monocle.
Okay. I was waiting. I do have one follow-up, though.
Mm-hmm.
Are you asking for the Inquisitor's help with any of this?
Not yet.
Okay.
If I don't need it, I don't want to involve him yet.
Okay.
So, Crafter's eyepiece. This rugged metal eyepiece etched with square pattern is designed to be worn over a single eye. Twisting the lens reveals faint three-dimensional outline of the item you plan to build or repair, with helpful labels on the component parts. When worn, this eyepiece gives you a +1 item bonus to crafting checks. When you repair an item, increase the hit points restored by 15 per proficiency rank instead of 10.
All right, matched your color.
So I'm doing that.
Okay.
As well, to see if the magic of this is also going to help, like if it's gonna like glitch, like when I see the lines or anything, if it glitches or anything, to give me any hints about what I'm looking at. So. And
which object are you using this on first?
I'll do it on the Atomus body.
The Atomus body, the only magics that are there are the binding magics used to keep the armored frame, the cables, and everything in place. The mask is not on right now. It's actually laying to the side because you gotta be able to see everything.
Right.
And then the magics that line the cables for the soul to operate the body also have their glow. I need a perception check from you. And then yes, you would get your feet for that as well. Your
My
oddities.
feet.
The oddities thing.
Oh, so is it a perception or an occult?
Occult, sorry, occult.
All right. I'm gonna use a hero point because this is important.
Is this your first one?
Yep.
Okay. HP.
Okay, I'll take that. That's an 11. So,
All right.
do I have tools? Do I get my tool bonus for this?
Yep. Because you're not inside of like a spirit talking to it. You're actually physically there, so you can use your tools for this.
Okay,
because you're like measuring everything out and figuring things out.
Then that's gonna make that a 29.
Okay. Do you want to use... Oh, you already used a hero point.
I already used it.
29.
I rolled an 11.
Know there is something off about the body, but you cannot put your finger on it. Your training that you've put in since when you made Everston originally is definitely... There's a flaw. There's something wrong. You just can't add it up.
Would the... Let me ask you this. Would the +1 from the eyepiece give me a 30 instead of a 29? It's made for crafting checks, but in this sense, it's kind of tied to it.
Sure, it's not made for that, but I would give it to you for this. And your 30 gives you a little more inkling that whatever is wrong is inside the face of the autonomous, but you just can't nail it down. Like you're tracking the salt pipes, you're tracking all the cables. Something is off. And the two are looking at you, and I would probably say Jacques would say something first. He would come over, head kind of looking down over top of Everston's face, and he looks up at you and he goes, "Is there an issue with the duplicate? Something that I did wrong?"
Something is off. I don't know what it is, but there is something wrong in here. I'm going to take
What's your passive perception?
19.
Okay, out of the corner of your eye, you see the sun mark something down on a clipboard.
Okay. Unless that +1 for the eyepiece helps with perception as well, that would be a 20. But my passive is a 19.
No. This is just more you reading him and seeing the guy out of the corner of your eye.
Got it. I'm gonna use the eyepiece and start pulling apart the components, letting it do that schematic.
We do not have time for you to take this apart. It'll take days to put this back together. And he kind of has his hand over it, not like bumping you or anything, but like, yo, hold on a minute.
No. I'm not actually taking it apart. I'm letting the eyepiece break things apart
focus
and look to focus. I'm like,
he would ask you what you're looking for. Would you like assistance is what he would ask you?
Yes, please.
Your passive perception, you see him mark something down on the sheet again. And he assists you. You get a +3 from him to your roll.
So you want me to make an actual roll for perception?
Same roll you made last time.
Oh, the fettering, the
occult.
The occult. God damn it.
Spend another hero point?
Yep. Well, a 5 again.
Okay. All right.
Do something. Okay, so I get a +3 from him.
Correct. +1 from your monocle again.
Right. So 35.
You notice in the back of the headpiece that all the parts are packed on as your monocle is like zooming in, pulling things apart, zooming in. One of the rings that goes around the tube that goes into the base of the head that allows him to kind of swivel everything, basically where the brainstem would be, the person, there is a ring there. It's a gold cap. You know that cap is to stop the spirit from exploding out. If the head were to get blown up, it stops it from leaving. That cap has etched runes on the back side of it that there's no way you put there because the runes go on the top. So if you're capping like a pipe, your runes are here.
On the top instead of on
all
the
the way
side.
around the edge. And it is not in the language that you used when you made this.
What language is it?
You don't know.
Intelligence check? Just from seeing different languages, maybe
ever seen this language. Promise you. This is not something that we studied with the Emerald Order.
Got it. Is this... Well, actually, I'll play this. But so, You made this body, yeah?
Correct. Myself and the rest of the staff. Yes.
Right, okay, so let me ask you this. Why are the runes on that cap on the side instead of on the top? And what does it say?
He leans down and he
what
grabs
is the
a tool, and he leans in and looks at it and he goes, I don't know. We did not put any of the runes here.
Who did?
Well, that'd be my son. When he looks up to Liar, Liar looks at you and he goes, oh, the runes are the same ones that you put in that were in the original schematics. I had to do that because we had to duplicate the session. I honestly don't know what the runes mean. I am just really good at forgery. So I duplicated what I saw and put in here. The test has to be perfect.
Did we do that? Did we put them on the side? I'm assuming we would have put them on the top.
You never put anything there. You never saw these because once it was together, you wouldn't see it.
Well,
because you weren't looking for a problem originally.
No, that's fair. So,
Are we going to continue, and how are we doing this? Are we separating the souls, or are we putting them both in here? What did you decide upon, is what Jock asked.
Well, what I decided is on hold right now. This is why this isn't normally done in a test. It's why you usually have a week to 10 days to do it so that it's done correctly. Hang on a second.
He looks to his son. You see his son mark the clipboard again.
Is there any way I can ask Thaddeus about this again?
Not unless you hit speak with dead, which you do not. You could ask the Inquisitor, because the Inquisitor can always speak with dead people. You would know that.
Right.
If you want him to speak with him is a totally different question. You touch the two things together and he could touch your staff to it and he could 100% talk to him.
Do I need to actually say the words, or can he hear me like spirit to spirit, or do I actually have to speak?
You would speak in hollow. You could whisper to it in hollow, but it is verbal.
Okay.
I mean, you could step away from them and do it. It'd be no different than you like walking over to look at a book or doing something, as long as you don't take too long.
Okay.
You gonna walk away?
Yeah, I'll walk. Are there
move yourself where you'd like to go? Just on the other side of the gold vats.
I'm gonna walk around inspect the gold vats, look a bit, and then when I get down to probably here, I'll be like,
give me a stealth to hide, or deception, sorry, to hide what you were doing. Because you are trying to hide your actions. And they are vehemently watching you because it's their fucking job.
Yeah.
You might get it, though. That was
doubtful. I rolled a 5.
What's your total?
5. I rolled a 3.
So Jacques looks at you and goes, what are you
Deception
doing?
is not my thing. Like, I'm working. Hang on a second.
All right. You speak in Hallow. What are you asking him?
Like, I need you to ask Maestro Thaddeus, who's in this bust, if he knows anything about the runes that were etched. I'm starting to think this whole thing was sabotaged from the beginning, and if it wasn't, if it is now.
Maestro Thaddeus, trainer to Voss Calcor, the only honorable person out of anyone in your family. Yet, you left him. Sure, I'd be happy to talk to him about you. What do you want to know?
I didn't leave him.
You
I graduated. Stay. He works here. Yeah, because I went off to do what I was supposed to do.
And he died.
Not my fault, mate. I wasn't here.
Well,
contracted by the Emerald Order, the people that are running this test, to go take care of this problem of reclaiming a fucking ghost town.
Give me a diplomacy. Because that's how it works with him. Good argument, though.
20.
The DC. And you can tell, like, the grunt is frustration out of being wrong. What do you want him to ask?
I need him to ask specifically about the runes. If he knew about them, if it was done the first time, like what that would mean.
He would come back and he says, because the runes weren't there. At least he didn't put them. If they were on the cap when you installed it, they weren't visible at the time. So if it was tampered with, someone would have had to suppress the magics. I will tell you what, though. I can see through your staff. Point me near it, and I will tell you what those words mean.
Thanks, Mike. And
All right.
I'll do it. Like, I'll walk over and, like, I'll lean my staff against his head and look into it so the top is touching.
So when you do, it flares, and a beam of fire shoots down into the head.
Check.
They both back up. Excuse me, Voss, are you destroying the relic that we're putting
working
it into?
on it, trying to find a problem.
The face starts to
Stand by.
heat, like gets red, and it shuts off, and it like slowly cools back down.
Kind of fan it.
Yeah, there's like smoke and stuff coming off it.
Yeah,
he
but
comes back and he
I'll
goes
just be like,
Inquisitor Pyre comes back and he goes, "That is a pacted language. That is Croak. It is a demon of these frog-like people. They speak in guttural tones of croaking and groaning. If that is in here, that means that your friend Everston is also some form of device to transport a demon."
well, I think we just figured out. So
I recommend we destroy this body.
Was there a demon in it that you saw?
No, but any relic that is made to hold a demon in a Croak language should be destroyed. It is not written that way so that we can bind him. It is written that way so it can travel amongst mortals.
Which explains...
If the two in this room are a danger, I can arrest them as well.
No, let's hold off on that. I'm starting to see a through line here.
So be it. Make your decision. I'll be waiting. And
Thank
he
you
kind of
for
like
your-
fades back out of the staff. And it just goes to the normal color of the crystal at the top. Both Jacques and Lyre have moved around the side out of discomfort of whatever just happened. And your passive perception is high enough to see Jacques, his back's to you, he's like looking at the wagon, but he is whispering to somebody. Not to his son. His son is looking at you.
Right, it's one of the two people that are invisible, probably.
So a few moments will pass. Is there anything you want to do?
I'm gonna cast Comprehend Languages and actually read what that thing says.
Okay, fair. So you cast Comprehend Languages. Do you have to touch it or anything like that with Comprehend Languages to read?
I'm not sure. Hang on a second.
I know this is coming out later, but
No,
okay,
range.
thanks for the follow.
Range is 30 feet. So
Okay,
no.
so what does that allow you to do exactly?
The target can understand the meaning of a single language it is hearing or reading when you cast the spell. This doesn't let it understand codes, language couched in metaphor, and the like, subject to the DM discretion. If the target can hear multiple languages and knows that, it can choose which language to understand. Otherwise, choose one of the languages randomly. So I'm specifically looking for Croak so that I can read what this says.
would need an intelligence check.
Luckily, that's kind of my bag. So, come on, Billy. It's cocked. Which sucks, is that was gonna be a 19. God damn it.
Do you want to spend?
My last hero point? Yeah, I'm gonna have to. This is too important.
Right. What are you trying to glean out of this? Just so I know how to answer depending on your role here. Actually, what's your bonus, Drew?
+5 to intelligence.
I'm gonna roll.
And I rolled a 15. Oh.
Oh, I'm gonna roll.
Okay. Well, do I get my hero point back then? Since I'm not rolling?
No. I'm giving you your second roll. You look over the... Well, I rolled a natural 20, so suck my dick. So as you're looking over it and comprehend languages, sure enough, the way you would read it out loud sounds like the tones you heard from Bennett in his spirit, in his shadow form. On top of that, the words around it, you're pretty sure in comprehend language, it says Bennett.
Does that mean...
You know you're reading Croak only because the Inquisitor told you.
Right.
If they wouldn't have done that, you don't identify the language. You can just read it. And you read it in your native tongue, usually, which would be in Vulg.
Right. So does that mean fettering lore, maybe? Does that mean that, or maybe Arcana, does that mean that only Bennett could have been bound to this? Or maybe he was already bound to it, since that's what they were talking about?
Actually. It
is occult? Tools or no?
No, not for this, really. This is just more of a recalling of knowledge.
So... the hell is my roll? 16, 9. So 25.
Yeah, between the natural 20, which is a crit, and that, yes. It is made to literally bind a specific spirit. Which means if it's in Croak 1, 2, it says Bennett. More than likely, he was possessed and put in. And then you fettered Everston as well. So when you fettered Everston, he trailed out of whatever else he was in and got locked into there. It was kind of like you put the final words on the spell to double bind. You just didn't know the other one. So that means whoever made that knows the workings of how fettering works specific to the Emerald Order. Specifically. Because they went, okay, these are the words that are missing. Upon completion, fetter.
And that was done to the original body.
Must have been. And all this guy did was duplicate it in Everston. It's not like they're duping you. They made copies of your original job.
Right, right.
What do you want to do? They are not going near you or the body right now. They are a little shook. Because that was not your magic that came out of that staff.
Nope.
And they're just staring at you, waiting. And now the father's turned around as well.
So he'll kind of nod at the face, turn back, plant his staff on the ground, and say, "Well, gentlemen, I have deemed this body unworthy to be feted. Only because if you are following the schematics that were written down before, the same flaw is in them that there was the first time. Now, because there are two souls inside, Master Thaddeus did not kill himself. He was attempted murdered by Tyrius, the other soul inside. I believe Tyrius is quite possibly infected somehow, possibly possessed.
Oh, good.
Which also, it turns out, happened with Everston. He had a traveler that was locked into the same bus that he is. We think we know how that happened. And he got transferred. I will tell you that this, and he points to the head, and the cap is like, this is written in Croak.
I'm sorry, what is Croak, is what Jacques says. His son goes, I believe it's a pacted language, Dad? I'm pretty sure.
It is.
May we ask you what the fire came from, Mr. Voss, Calcor? What is that? That was not arcane. That was not...
It's my staff. It's a staff of fire. You've never seen one of these? Anyway, so listen.
Are you trying to bypass it? Like, blow over it?
Yeah, don't give a fuck. Like,
okay,
so,
you're bullying through. Check.
Here's the thing. The name that is written on this cap is the same name of the spirit that was fettered to Everston. And since it is written in that same language, this was predetermined to be here the first time round.
Okay.
Which means that this dirty pool of foot And I'm not going to do this again twice. I'm not going to let that happen again because there could be the same type of spirit bound to Tyrius. Because
so
I
as
know
you
Tyrius.
as you say that, the professor slowly appears to your left-hand side, out of where the stairs are at there, and he slowly appears, and he's just giving you that slow clap. Well, well, well. You are much smarter than I thought you were. I don't know why you failed my class so many years ago.
I was drunk.
You either grew a brain, or you stopped drinking.
I don't drink as much. But, that being said,
well,
I stopped drinking.
I can tell you that it took me a year to figure out that something else was bound in there. And of course, unfortunate, when we found Thaddeus, we figured out that somebody was trying to destroy the evidence. Your master, your teacher, has never stopped researching this. As a matter of fact, we had given him grants from the Emerald Order to continue his research. Unfortunately, his death is not a lie. He did pass. We do know it was not suicide, but I had to at least give you reasons to look deeper. You have passed the first and second part of this course. The first is actually in the wagon and the choices that you made in there. I do have to ask you who you were speaking to, though.
With apologies, I cannot say.
You spoke of fettering, and I figured you may try to fetter something while you were there. Hence, the first test is fettering. The second test is actually decisions, which is what you just did.
I see.
The third test is now. And as he says that, the man who was here earlier is bound and appears next to him. This is your Croak culprit. And he steps away from him. This man, as he kind of walks towards you, says, this man, he has been working internally with us for quite some time. He has worked on many different sites as nothing more than a layman, or so we thought. He carries marks of this language. We recently discerned this. We had kept him imprisoned for quite some time. And you see Liar say something, and a second one of him appears next to him and then slowly dissipates. Says it took us some illusions to figure out.
The second one of the white-haired guy?
Yep. He like right next to him here, and he disappears. And because you have your spells up, it's an illusion.
Right. The one that was there to begin with?
Yep. You're guessing he must have been a fake.
Got it.
Says this man I had brought in for you to make a decision. Within our organization, on the college campus, we make decisions on what to do with people who break the law. Specifically, our laws at the college. Now, before he gets handed over to anyone, like the True Faith or any of those, and you start to see your gem glow.
Mm-hmm.
Says, we would like to know what you believe the right decision for him is. His name is Zontal Varmir. Zontal is a dark elf from the Court of Night, specifically marked with Croak sigils and runes. You can see them, and he taps his monocle, and like light pours out, and you can see his entire face is covered in very similar glyphs as to the cap inside of Everston. We are going to leave you with him, and we're going to let you do whatever you think is right. And the three of them walk towards the door and exit. As the guy turns around to shut it, all the bars move out of the way, and he says, we're not locking you in here. You can leave at any time. Also, the body that is there, and they point to Everston's body, he says, that is yours to do with whatever you wish. He turns, he says, Good luck on your final trial. If you would like to take 8 hours of rest, feel free to do so, but remember, that man will be in the room with you. We'll discuss Thaddeus after you are completed. And he shuts the door.
Is the guy still bound?
Yep. Bound and, like, his hands are behind his back, and he is chained, or I should probably roped, to the rail next to him. It's like one of those big metal wrought iron pipe rails. And he just looks up at you, doesn't smile, doesn't say anything. He's very thin, very gaunt. The look in his eyes is one of a murderer. Like, this man, he has done things that you would have killed him probably if it was in Merrifield. Like, he just has that look about him. Looks up to you. Do you speak Elven?
No.
So he says something in Elven, then shakes his head, and in Vulg, or Vulgar, your language, he goes, so I'm assuming you're going to vote for me to be put to jail, right? Is that how this is going to go today?
That depends. Were you the one that made this originally, that put the cap on it?
No, I did not. I did sell the cap to the person who did it, though.
Who did it? Who bought it?
I don't know.
What'd they look like?
It was a dark night. My eyes aren't that good.
You're an elf. Your eyes are fucking fine, mate. Tell me what I want to know. Unless you just want me to burn it out of you now.
Oh, I see. We're going to go with vigilante justice. I'm sure that'll help you
No,
pass your final exam so well.
No, mate. No, not at all. I'm going with church-sanctioned, let's see here. What's the word? Protocol.
He looks over you. He's like, you can see he's looking for something. He goes, I don't see any marks of the true faith on you.
No, they're not on me, mate. And I just kind of like tink, tink.
It goes,
tink.
And he kind of like puts his eyes down. It's bright in here now, like daylight. And fire, just a pile. Like you know how you like light a torch and it goes to that plume and then the jet of flame. Mm-hmm. That is what's coming out of the top of your staff right now. Probably a good 2 foot. He goes,
I'll move the switch down a little bit so the ball on top is only half out, like I'm
pulling it down to adjust the flame.
Yeah, adjust the flame, like to fine tune it to the blue that you need when you're welding.
Yep. Oh. And it dims down a little bit, and he kind of blinks his eyes a few times, and you see his pupils redilate. He's like, listen, I was sent to do a job from the Court of Night. That is all I can really tell you.
Well, when you say all you can really tell me, does that mean all you want to tell me, or all you physically, spiritually, and wholeheartedly can tell me? Because
are you intimidating him?
Oh, fuck, yes.
I'll give you a +2 for the daylight going off.
I only rolled a 4. So that's gonna be...
So here's my question for you for the second half of this.
It's only gonna be an intimidation of 15.
For the second half of this, did you pull 3 more hero points?
Oh, if I could have?
You got Absolutely. A day of rest. All right. In the background, you hear scribble, scribble, scribble.
Wait. I got... Oh, so for the possible day of rest, because I didn't take a rest.
Possible day of rest, you can do it. You can take it. If you want 3 more, you can take them.
Yeah, I'll take them.
All right.
So let me re-roll that.
Re-roll that. All right.
Die likes 11s. So you said I got a +2?
+2 from the flaming torch of death.
I mean, so it's a 22 intimidation.
He stands up. His feet aren't bound, just his hands are, and he pulls on the rope a little bit, like close to you. Like if you're trying to intimidate him, he stands into it.
Okay.
He goes, your intimidation is nothing. I've been intimidated by many, many things worse than you. And that thing in your staff, whatever that is, I am not afraid of it. And it goes, and it starts to vibrate.
I say to the staff, mate, hold on a second. Like I talk to it. and like let the fire like kind of sparkle in my eyes, like I'm just talking to fire.
He goes, you would hear actually from the Inquisitor in Hallow. He says, "You let me kill him, and I will make sure you get paid."
Well, hang on a second, mate. I'm trying to get information from him first.
I'll speak to his burnt corpse.
Oh, right. I forgot you lot can do that. All right. Hang on.
Now, I'm going to ask you a question. This is where they are saying you are representing the Emerald Order.
Yep.
But you've already done pretty well. I mean, you know you have to pass 2 of 3. That's all you got to do.
The church all the time.
Sure, I'm just telling you what is going on.
No, that's fair. Like
now, but you can break this. Aren't you like chaotic good?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you could definitely do what you want. I'm just giving you a heads up so you don't cross a line and then want to come back.
No, that's fair. Because I mean, really, I would be doing what I need to do and then turning him over to the church. Because that's what they would do in this case. Because he's a heretic.
Whatever your explanation is for it, we can deal with that later.
Like, look, mate, it's about to go really bad for you. So I need you to tell me.
You think being imprisoned for a year by the idiots that run this place wasn't bad enough? Feeding me mutton? Who eats that?
Poor people, mate. Poor people eat that.
Well, I'm not poor. I'm a prince.
That's unfortunate for you and your family then. Because they're going to be short in air in about 5 seconds.
No.
I need you
to start a war? With the knight? A court of the knight? You are stupid.
No, I'm really intelligent. You're stupid because you're talking to a fetterer who deals with spirits. So really, if I wanted to do what I wanted to do, the first thing I'd have to do is kill you.
I've heard the threats of this for over a year already. Stop talking and do it then.
All right. I tried, and I flick the flame up, and I take a step back and set the, I plant the...
So when you set it down, it spins. Vertical. And fire starts to come out of it like a pinwheel.
Okay.
Now, it does hit him. It does also hit all the supporting beams of the barn, the ceiling of the barn, the hay around the area, as the entire place gets engulfed in flame. Behind you, you hear popping, is the gold is bubbling out and popping out of the cauldrons. He goes to duck, and it does not matter. First hit hits him, singes the skin all the way down to the bone. The second, the third, and it just works its way down the body. As the corpse falls over, he coughs up smoke. The staff starts to fall. And the fire dies out.
Starts to fall out of the air?
Yep.
It appears in my hand.
Oh, fuck you. God damn. Is that Nexus?
Cool points,
is that what that's
bitches.
from?
No, that is... Want to know what that is? I'll fucking tell you what that is. Because I haven't had a chance to use it yet. That is call bonded item. That is my fourth level feat.
I was gonna have you roll a chance of it breaking.
Nope.
So as it comes to your hand,
that bitch to my hand from up to a mile away.
I need a fortitude save though.
I'm gonna go ahead and use my second hero point.
Okay.
I can do better than a 6. God damn it, the die wouldn't be cocked. There we go. 16. That's much better. 25 fortitude save.
So you take half of 75 points.
Ugh. Off of 75 is 37. Rounding up, I'm assuming?
Standing? Yeah. No, down. It's always round down, I believe.
Okay, so 37. Is there anything for taking over half damage?
Nope.
Okay. Yeah, I'm still up.
But, yeah, I mean, whatever permanent scars you would like on your hand and your arm as the fire dances up to your shoulder.
That would probably burn away my feathers, obviously. And, yeah.
Thank God you don't have gliding. So as the body is smoking and you're holding it, your arm is all singed up. You hear the voice of Pyre, and he is chanting one of the Inquisitor chants of the true faith. And you see the soul start to rise out of the body, and it is ablaze. What do you want to do? You hear the door getting pounded on, but the metal is slag that is holding the door.
I'll say, tell me what I want to know. Everything. Why was this soul fettered to this body? Along with Everston, what plans did you have for sneaking in this demon into our midst? And I kind of look at the staff like I'm looking at the Inquisitor.
Right.
I'm like, let's find out the plot against the people.
Give me a roll. Because he is near death, you are a fetterer. I am going to give you a +2 to your roll. I will tell you that the spirit is more powerful than you are.
Okay.
Are you fettering it or just trying to force it into an object? What are you doing right now?
I mean, if I was going to fetter it...
You got a body that's at least a level 10 body.
Well, I'm not going to put him in the Atomist.
You have the 2 gems that you have right now.
I'll put him in one of the gems.
Okay. If you use the most powerful one, you'll be able to hold him for a while, but he'll probably have to be transferred.
Okay. Yeah, I'll put him in the level 6 emerald.
So you'll get a +2. Are you fettering him or speaking to him? Like, which one are you trying to do right now?
Oh, I thought I wasn't... I was talking to the Inquisitor because he said he was going to talk to him. So if I can fetter him while that's happening, then I'll do that.
Up to you. You'd have to let him talk to him now or after you fetter him. Your choice. That's totally up to you. He's just the soul is ablaze right now and getting pulled out of the body and towards the staff.
Oh, then I'll fetter him first because that's what needs to happen. So you're saying I have a +2?
+2, yep, because of the current circumstance. 30 is enough to fetter him. You know you have about a day in that gem before it'll start cracking. He's too powerful for it. When he hits the glass, you see a tongue smack the glass once, and you see the first beginning of a hairline crack. And inside you see 2 big golden eyes.
Okay.
They are not what was out here.
Mm-hmm.
Inquisitor goes, demon.
Yeah, I figured that.
Pounding on the door is still going. This place is ablaze.
I mean, the wards are still up, right? So it's not going to spread to another building.
That was for spirits. Not for incineration.
Okay.
Do you want him to speak to the spirit now? Test is still going. They're not in here technically. They are pounding on the door pretty heavily right now. You hear people outside. Get the door down. There's a smoke billowing out of the roof.
I'm like, yeah, talk to him.
I will.
I'm gonna lean my staff against one of the things, and I'm gonna do first aid on myself.
All right, give yourself a first aid check. You're intelligent enough to know you probably have about 5 minutes before you're dead in here.
Okay.
From smoke inhalation, and then you'll burn to death.
Are there any windows or anything I can get out of?
No, 100% sealed.
Okay.
Deliberately sealed. It was easier to do it that way than it is to have to put salt around every window. So he starts talking to it, and you hear chattering and humming, and you hear basically like the hymns of an Inquisitor. You see the gem light on fire, and you hear screams of like a toad or a creature's.
That tracks.
And it goes silent. 2 minutes have passed.
Okay. I need to do... Oh, well, actually, I can only do a... I mean...
What do you want to do?
Well, I'm doing the heal check for myself.
Sure.
And I roll a nat 20. So...
You have to pick the level you're doing it at before you roll.
Well, I'm not. I'm only trained. I'm not an expert, so I can't do
so
the
you're just
other
doing
one.
the max for trained? Gotcha.
Yeah.
Cool.
But I don't know if.
What are you trying to figure out?
The treat wounds thing. Oh, critical success. It's 48.
48.
Cool.
So as that happens, the Inquisitor's voice finally comes back online to you, and he says, I wish to destroy that creature. You will have to release it at some point. He has been tortured ample. I have the answers you wish.
Rolled really well on healing.
Do you want these answers now, or once your test is over?
Let's wait till after we get out of here, this burning building, mate. I know what doesn't really matter to you, but it's kind of finicky to me right now. He looks at his arms like, fuck.
Do you have a way out of the building? Do you have any other spells or anything you could do to get yourself out? Because they're probably not getting in the next 5 minutes. Well, 3 now.
So it's
Fencing
just
door, flight, anything like that.
So it's just warded against spirits, but not against fire and actual physical damage.
You got it, yeah.
Cool. So
The front door would be the hardest thing to get through. I will say that.
yeah, I'm probably gonna go. So if
Weakest point's probably the roof.
if the damage was done over here,
Yeah, it's pretty charred over there.
yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and cast my first level 3 spell, and I'm gonna haste myself.
What are you casting?
Haste.
And do you ask for the Inquisitor? Oh, okay. So you're hasted.
Yep.
Okay, so you're hasted. Now what?
And then I'm gonna run over and break a hole through the charred wall and get through.
With what?
Magic missile.
How much damage can you do with magic missile?
Well, after I cast haste the first round, I can only do 2 actions to cast magic missile. So it's
Okay.
only going to be 2d4, which I rolled
Okay.
max damage, so that's 10 points.
All right, so doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. And you see crack, 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 but it's still intact.
Okay. Let's see here. Oh, that's
I'm
right.
assuming you have lightning bolt.
I don't. I
Oh,
took
you took it. Oh wow.
no. I took haste and I took fireball.
Okay.
So, but now I have 3 charges in the staff instead of 2 because I put a 3rd level spell into it.
You put a fire
So-
spell into it.
Hmm?
Did you put a fire spell into it?
No.
Oh.
I mean, it has a fire spell in it already. Oh,
Yeah.
although so what does it do if I cast Burning Hands right now?
Max damage if you ask him to.
I'll be like, mate, we need to get through this wall. I kind of hold out my staff.
What do you wish from me? You only have one parlor trick in here for fire.
Well, if you can make it as powerful as you can, and I'll point at the staff and I'll cast Burning Hands on the wall that's already charred and cracked.
All right, hold on here. Burning hands.
I mean, I have
I
produced
wanna
flame,
see
but-
something that's not good enough. I want
Yeah,
to
I didn't
see
think so.
something here. Do you want him to heighten it using a 3rd level slot? It'd add an extra 4d6.
I
Is there a 3rd level slot in the staff?
put 3 level. So what I did is you can put the way Staff Nexus works is you can put a spell slot into it, and I usually put my highest level one in, so I could cast. It has 3 spell slots in it, so I could cast a 3rd level spell, or a 2nd and a 1st, or 3 firsts.
Okay, so what did you do?
Well, I
Because
put
you
a
will
third,
use the highest spell level slot you have to heighten it.
well, I cast Magic Missile once, so there's only two in there now, and the other.
So you could use a 2nd level then.
I could, but that doesn't heighten
Heightens
burning hands.
Plus what? Yes, it does. It does for him.
It does for him?
He uses spell slots. That's how heighten works.
Yeah, but the heightened form of burning hands, I think, is a 3rd and a 5th.
No, it's just +1. It's the next spell level slot. That's what that means.
Wait, so I could do 66 with a 3rd level spell slot with burning hands?
Correct.
It heightens, it goes up. Oh shit! I did not realize that. Okay,
Heightened
then yeah,
+1.
go ahead and burn a heightened burning hands.
So level 2.
Yep.
All right.
So that's
it's
46.
Maximized. That's his trait. Is he maxes fire damage?
Neat. So 24 points of damage.
And it burns a fan as you kind of turn the staff. It carves that hole for you to get out.
Neat.
He goes, "The demon's mine."
I'm like, got him right here.
So as you go out, you hear pounding. As you walk around the side of the building, they're pounding. They have a ram on a cart that they're smashing into the door right now.
I'm like, there's a hole in the side if we can get water in it.
There are two. There actually would be the sound of sirens coming on site for the equivalent to like a fire truck.
And I would like to save the Atomus body inside so that I can fix it, because I got somebody I need to put in it. Since you said it was mine to do what I needed to do.
Yeah, he says, "How did you get out?" As you see, like parts of the roof collapsing.
Like burned a hole in the side. It's a wooden building.
Oh my god! It was protected, but okay.
It was protected by spirits. It's not protected by fire.
No. Men, continue. Set them up to get the fire put away, get the door down. And they keep ramming it. And they're casting spells on it as well, like weaken it. Mm-hmm. They finally bust it open and smoke and fire comes out. The Hand of Water shows up a few minutes later. They have priests that come out and they start casting create water through almost like cannons on the side of this carriage and spraying down the inside of the building. They pull up to the front and start spraying it. The professor walks you around the edge. He dismisses the other two, telling them, "Nice job." He collects the notes from them that they were taking. And he says, "Well, if you follow me over to the cart, we will speak over there. I'm assuming that Mr. Zuntel did not make it. Is that correct?"
Correct. He is no longer with us.
Such a shame. May I ask what you did with the soul?
Yes, I've bound it, and that's going to be taken care of.
Well, I have a few questions to finish your assessment. If you would like, we could do it now, or you could have a night's rest. I prefer to do it now. What would you like to do?
No. Yeah, go ahead.
The clipboard.
Go ahead now. Look in the cart.
You can feel he was like ready to check something. He's like, "Do it now." And he's like, "I see." Well, then.
Is there any balm in this cart as he looks at his like chisel?
Yeah, there's probably a cell for fire because you're dealing with hot metals.
Okay, I'll be rubbing that on as he's talking.
Right. So that's kind of the finishing of like bandaging yourself up from inside. And he goes, "Mr. Voss Calcor, today you showed me wrong on all estates in every way. I expected you to fail today like you did my class. Not because you're bad at what you do, but because you're careless and reckless." And he points to the burning building. I have to ask, the power that came from you to do this is beyond your abilities.
Yes.
Where is this power coming from? Before I license you, I must know where such destructive magics come from.
Again, that is something that unfortunately I cannot hand over.
I don't wish to keep it, but I do need to know. Do you wish to pass or not? This is pivotal. For me to allow you to study in the library, in the higher floors of magic, to learn things beyond what you normally know, I have to know how you were able to do that. Because that is not a mere spell of a caster of your magnitude. That is quite beyond your capabilities.
Yes, it is. I did not cast it.
I see. So you did bring somebody else into this trial.
I did, yes.
May I ask his name? And out of the thing, in, I would say probably Hallow, you would hear Pyre. And he turns and looks at the staff. He goes, I'm sorry, did your staff speak to me? Is it a fettered object? And he like adjusts his monocle and he like steps back a little bit because you know it's blinding when you look at him. And he goes, what do you have locked in there? And he like readjusts himself.
This is one of the reasons that I cannot divulge the information because it is not mine to divulge. The name of the soul is Pyre, Pyre.
Tell him Section 5 of the Hand of Flame, Code 322.
Section 5 of the Hand of Flame, Code 322.
I apologize for asking you that question. I would not have if I would have known. Please tell the...
It's all right, sir.
person.
I totally understand.
Please tell him that I mean no tampering in his investigation that he is now taking control of. I only wish now to answer the rest of the questions I have for you for the trial, if you don't mind.
Of course, please, sir. Carry on.
And he like marks a couple things down. You see some scribbling. And he goes, your arm is pretty burnt. Is this going to be permanent? It looks pretty bad.
It's, I'm guessing yes. I'm just going to have to
So as you like go to move your hand's like crippled.
It seems like it, yes.
I would offer you an Atomus replacement, if you want, or if the person inside is going to get it healed for you. Your pyres say, there is no way I am healing you from your weakness.
No, but I expect you to, mate.
If you'd like to, I could replace it for you. Or we could look into healing, but that is severe damage. And it's like blistered down to the bone.
Mm-hmm. Is that question part of the test?
It is part of the assessment.
I would like to try and keep it, so I will take a look at what type of healing I can find first. But I may take you up on that offer, sir, if it stands.
Okay. Well, then let's talk about the first part. You did not tell me about what was going on, and we will not speak about it. We will consider the first part a pass, even though originally I was going to fail you. But I understand the circumstance now, and knowledge is power, so I will let that go. The second is very, very different than what I expected to go. You did not try to fetter the spirits, and that is our job, but you did make the right decision and uncovered something that we were unable to truly divulge everything. I was hoping to learn more from you and your abilities since you did craft the original, but we know we cannot make things perfect, just visually perfect, but everything, the time that you spend with a piece of machinery, since is what you built the Atomus known as Everston, there are minutiae and minuscule details that come through time and a connection with the piece.
It shows showing the work, so to speak.
It shows the spirit of the individual who made it. The craftsmanship, the mark of a true craftsman, which you are.
I have something for you, sir, if it could help. I would only ask that the patent fall under my name and that I get a percentage of anything that's sold.
I would like to hear what it is before I say yes to that.
I have made, what's the word I'm looking for? A flak gun that can be attached to Atomus arms. It's good for, well, really firing anything.
A flak gun? Like the ones on airships?
Kind of. It's a little bit smaller. Fires something a little bit bigger than a Skyhunter round, which can be literally anything if it fits. I'll have the schematics, or at least a copy of them, here.
When
which
did
I
you
was.
designed this? You must have done this off campus.
Oh, I did. I did it in Merrifield. We've been engineering quite a bit, and I thought it might be useful to the order, sir. I thought maybe.
I have to say, I am rather surprised. Merrifield, not at your skill, but at Merrifield has nothing to offer. Yet you still crafted this? My understanding is it just recently had a boom, but call me impressed. I'd be interested in the blueprints, and yes, any automas that are installed with it or sales of them, I would be happy to give you a cut.
Wonderful. I would think that maybe this might serve as a hallmark of my ability, as you were just talking about, since you could not see the craftsmanship in its natural form. And I'll unfold the blueprints and show them what it is and what maybe this can help serve in its place.
Now I need you to roll the craft check that we never rolled.
Oh no, we rolled it. I critted it.
Oh, you did.
It's a 34.
Let me write that down. Flat gun, 34. He goes, my. In my years of study, this is quite an exceptional piece of Vulg craftsmanship. Now, you know he loves things made by the Vulg. It's the simplistic idea of taking things that are broken and making them better than they were before. Mm. It is something that just not amuses, but bewilders him and how it can actually be done. And he rolls it up. And he says, we'll get a copy of this made before you leave, and we'll give you back the originals.
Oh, no, sir. This is the copy. I have the originals. This is for you.
Aren't you prepared? Excellent. This leads us to my third and the final test. Mr. Zontel Viremir, you, I'm assuming, took justice into your own hands.
No, sir. And I look at the staff and I turned him over to the church powers.
Do you have the spirit so that I could at least speak with it before it leaves? We would like to understand how it did this. You hear Pyre's voice say, if he wishes to touch it, he can. But if he gets possessed, the same will come of him.
Right. I feel obliged to inform you, sir, that you are able to see it. But I will say that if you get possessed by it, the transference of the hunt will then go to you for this demon. It's a demon. It's not an elf.
My natural 20. He says, I would like to see it. I have preparations. And he goes into the wagon and he pulls this like crappy pair of leather gloves out and puts them on. And when he flips them over, there are runes on the back. He's like, okay. Please.
But he'll pull out the gem.
And he sees the crack already.
It's like, it won't hold for long, but it's not really...
We should transfer it. The Inquisitor says, no.
Like, it's not going to get transferred, so it's going to get destroyed.
Oh. Well, then I will take as much information as I can from it. What language does it speak?
Croak.
I'm sorry. The demons from...
Yeah, that's right.
West? Meashan? You realize that the demon, the Croak, were born out of the pendulum. The prison that hangs from Meashan. These are not normal demons. These are man-made creatures. The atrocities that they witness bore their demonic spirit. At least that is the lore of Chites. And the Inquisitor laughs a little bit here. Well, he's not completely stupid.
No, he's a smart gent.
I wish not to speak to it, and he hands it back to you. He says, the ability to be possessed by a Croak is second to none.
Fair enough, and I'll put it back.
Excellent. I have no other questions, but I do have the ability to answer any questions that you may have. Is there any you have about the trials before we offer up what we would give you for passing? Your choice to take it or not.
So what's to be done with Maestro Fadius? And I'm quite certain there's something wrong with Tyrius. He is not normally like this. He wouldn't have attacked him, so I think there's something wrong with him as well.
Well, that would be part of the final agreement, but I was going to offer them to you. Listen, I could keep them here and use them as study during classes and have people understand the dangers of our craft. But I think, honestly, your best friend, or one of your friends, you two were peas in a pod in class. And I think that your original teacher, your mentor, belongs with you. His family would want it. His kids would want it. He was his work. So if you think you can separate these two issues, I would like to offer him to you. If not, I will see what we can do here.
I will take that, sir. I will also humbly ask for the means to convey them somewhere else into proper reliquaries if we have anything standing by that would be suited.
I do. And he turns around and walks back into that same wagon you were in. There is a chandelier hanging worth like easily 6,000 to 10,000 gales. And he plucks 2 gems off of it and hands them to you.
I never look up. Should always look up.
Those will hold at least higher spirits. For sure, it will hold your friend. It'll at least hold Thaddeus until he wishes to be freed. He was able to escape fettering twice already.
Hey. Right.
I've never seen a spirit jump from one object to another. Not like that.
Well, sir.
Would you wish for me to fetter him for you? I could do it right now. I can't divide them, though. That would be on you.
No, I'll wait and divide them, because...
Excellent.
Can we have that Thomas body shipped to Merrifield, please?
Of course. When are you going back?
Well, not just yet. There's
the trial. By the way,
there's a trial to handle first, apparently.
So, I will offer you 2 things right now. I'll offer a third, but by offering that third, you must come back here and teach for a year.
A year from
starting today.
First day to next day, or a year?
Yes. Starting from now until next year this time.
Well, I can't do that because I have my previous assignment, and
we gave you that assignment.
Yes, but it's become more, sir, than what you gave me. There's a lot going on there.
How about you hear what I have to offer first?
Fair enough.
First off, your arm. The damages that were done, unfortunate, but I will offer replacement. That is just part of the course. You have it, take it when you'd like. If you need materials to build your arm, we will help provide that to the best of our abilities. That is just, we do not wish to see one of our best craftsmen lose one of the best tools. First and foremost, Order of Gold. They are at your beck and call to get that replaced.
Thank you, sir.
Now for the trial. You did well. You passed all 3. You did it in a style only a Calcor would do. First, I offer you a new spellbook. The spellbook will allow you to access the libraries of the Emerald Order while you are in Merrifield.
Really?
Specifically, spells. Before you leave, put down the money you would like in a deposit here, or we can keep your stipend that you get from us shipped to Merrifield, and you can peruse the spells at your leisure, request them, and they will be there the next day. Scribe them from the book into your own. Consider it the ability to check out spells. There is a limitation, only things from your school of choice.
I'm a universalist, sir, so...
You will have to pick one.
I
These
see.
books can only hold one school of magic. They are tied to that library. That's one. Think about it. No reason to answer now. Two, I'd like to offer you the license to be able to cast spells at a higher rank. This is also coming at a cost. Being licensed means that if you kill innocents with magic, your license will be tried and more than likely taken from you.
As well it should be.
Agreed. This also goes for spirits, though, because we are fetterers. If you were to kill an innocent spirit and it is found out or harm beyond recognition, we know sometimes spirits have to be corrosed and pushed into a relic. But if you do destroy them, we will take your fettering license and your magi license, your arcanist. You won't be able to cast anymore, at least not legally. Is that understood?
Yes, sir, it does. I understand.
So he pulls out a, looks like a license. It's got an emerald in the corner that has your face in it. If you were to die, you will be fettered to this card. Automatically. It can be transferred from there to wherever you want, but this is to make sure that there's no slip of you getting pulled into another object, devoured by a soul eater, and so forth.
Right. Ether. Ether witches and all that.
And this brings us to the third piece. I would like to offer you a position at the academy as a teacher. 1 year, paid. 2,000 gales. We'll give you full access to the Emerald Order workshop. Anything you need, materials during your time of crafting, we will provide. But I need 1 year of your time. We have a bit of a dilemma here.
Chalcor smiles a little bit. He's like, I would accept that, sir, with conditions.
Well, here's what I'm offering.
Okay.
I will make sure the trial is squashed. Legally.
Well, from what I
You do not
understand,
need to know. It just won't go to trial. Oliver will spend some time in prison, of course, but not long. A week or so. It's a good thing to hold over their heads when they make stupid decisions.
he smiles again. He's like, right.
Inquisitor goes, I think he should stay in prison. He is an imbecile and a danger.
So I will take you.
So
up
I'm going to
on-
end us there for the night.
Oh, come on! I've got no. You got.
Nope.
You got to let me say this.
Nope.
You got to let me say this.
No. All right, fine. I'll let you say it, but I'm going to end us here for the night.
I will say, sir, I will take you up on that, but it was going to have to be for students who would like to do an independent study in Merrifield because we've just started building an academy.
But we need a college, not an academy, for our teachings.
Well, then I would take them on as my personal assistants, and they can do field work. It would only be...
Give me a diplomacy check. You're right. We can't... I gotta see what he says. Give me a diplomacy check. You are correct. I was going to end us on this, but damn it, Drew.
I can't do much better than that. That is going
Hero
to
points left.
be a... No, I rolled a 17. That's going to be a 26.
You need a 25.
Only
He says
senior
fine.
year students that aren't drinking. And I kind of smile at him.
He says a lot.
A lot. That aren't drinking a lot. He kind of shakes his head just as a flashback of a number of parties.
I will give you 2.
All right.
I will give you my son.
Whoa.
Then there's another student. We'll have to get him separated from the object in there. Let's do this before you leave.
All right.
Follow me. And he will walk off to take you to, to where they fetter, like, the big stuff.
Okay.
So, yeah, we'll end there, actually.
Okay.
That means the trial will get squashed. You don't have to tell anybody. They can find out if they watch this.
That's true.
So that's it for us tonight, but I have a couple of announcements. By now, you've already watched Fenrir Rising, which we're both on, which is fucking awesome. I would love to tell you it was the best show I've ever seen, but we haven't filmed it yet. So I'm going to assume it's the best show ever. But stay tuned for Wednesday, where I will be doing Scream Sheet missions, where you help me build the following Monday live stream for Fenrir Rising. That is going to be found over on Norse Foundry Squish. It's not on ours. We are a separate thing, but I am there running games with the Foundry crew. Drew is on the show, and you've probably already seen the first 3 people, which Diana and Adam from Dragons and Things, and then also Megan Caves is our guest star. But what you don't know is that every week we're doing another guest star, and the one coming after that is a doozy. I hope you like Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. That's what I'll say. So thank you for watching the show, everyone. I love side quests. They're actually my favorite thing to do. And Voss, we finally got to do a magic trial for you.
I know, dude. It's awesome. We've only been gaming together for, 2 decades now?
Oh, God, I know. And you did well. You did way better than I expected. Way better than I expected. I expected some failures there. You would have failed that first mission. But you gave it up that you had a damn Inquisitor with you. So that is it for us tonight. Thank you, everyone. And what is our sign-off? Beware, or the tides may come for you.
The tides will come for you.
That's what it is.
Although
Good night,
now,
everybody.
it might be in the form of a dragon. Shit.
You fuck.
Cheers.
Bye, everyone. Everybody, look up. Thanks for watching this episode of SideQuest. If you'd like to find more, subscribe to our YouTube, Twitch, and of course, join our Discord. Beware, the tides will find you.